Thomas is a tank engine who lives at a big station on the island of Sodor. He's a cheeky little engine with 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler, and a short stumpy... One day, Edward was in the shed where he lived with the other engines. They were all bigger than Edward and boasted about it. The
Thomas.
driver won't choose you again, said Gordon. He wants strong engines like a... Once an engine attached to a train was afraid of a few drops of rain. It went into a tunnel and squeaked through its funnel and wouldn't come out again. Gordon always pulled the big express. He was proud of being the only engine strong enough to do so.
Henry.
It was full of important people, like Sir Topham Hatt, and Gordon was seeing how fast he could... Thomas the tank engine was grumbling to the other engines. I spend my time pulling coaches about, ready for you to take out on journeys. Thomas the tank engine wouldn't stop being a nuisance. Night after night, he kept the other engines awake. Every day, Sir Topham Hatt came to the station to catch his train. Hello, he always said to Thomas. Don't let the silly freight cars tease you. James was enjoying his life on the island of Sodor, but he still had a lot to learn. You're a special mixed traffic engine, said Sir Topham Hatt. You can pull coaches or freight cars. James had not been out to push coaches or freight cars in the yard for several days. He was feeling miserable. One night, Henry and Gordon were alone with James. Although Sir Topham Hatt was beginning to think well of him, whenever a chance came, the other engines would talk of nothing but bootlaces. Remember when they had to use a bootlace to get you out of trouble? Thomas the tank engine is very proud of his branch line. He thinks it is the most important part of the whole railway. When Thomas puffed along his branch line, he always looked forward to something special. Autumn had come to the island of Sodor. The fields were changing from yellow stubble to brown earth, and a tractor was hard at work as Thomas puffed along. Thomas was waiting at a junction when a bus arrived. Hello, said Thomas. Who are you? I'm Bertie. Who are you? Henry and Gordon were lonely when Thomas left the yard to run his branch line. They missed him very much. They had more work to do. Sir Topham Hatt sat in his office listening to the noise outside. The passengers were angry. The station master came in. Henry, James, and Gordon were miserable. They had been shut up for several days for being naughty and longed to be let out. One morning, Henry was feeling very sorry for himself. Sometimes he could pull trains, but sometimes he felt he had no strength at all. One winter evening, Henry's driver said, "We'll be out early tomorrow. We've got to take the flying kipper. Don't tell Gordon, but I think if we pull the kipper nicely, Sir Topham Hatt will let us pull the..."
Gordon was cross. Why should Henry have a new shape, he grumbled. A shape good enough for me is good enough for him. He goes gallivanting off to Crewe, leaving us to do his work, and comes back saying how happy he feels. Toby is a tram engine. He has cow catchers and side plates and doesn't look like a steam engine.
There's a line to a quarry at the end of Thomas's branch. It goes for some distance along the road. Thomas was always very careful to whistle here in case anyone was coming. Toby and Henrietta were enjoying their new job on the island of Sodor, but they do look old-fashioned and did need new paint. James was very rude whenever he saw them. Gordon was resting in the siding. Sometimes he thought, It's really tiring to be such a large and splendid engine. One does have to keep up appearance. One day, Thomas was at the junction when Gordon shuffled in with some freight cars. It was Christmas on the island of Sodor. All the engines were working hard. Thomas and Toby were busy carrying people and parcels up and down the branch line.